is something. And Bob Marley sang about it. He said, whosoever diggeth a pit shall fall in it. So when you dig a pit for your enemy, you yourself will fall in the pit. When you do anything by convenience, it will come back and haunt you. In 2020, the Member of Parliament for Fomena filed to stand independent because he lost his primaries. You know what the MPP party did? They petitioned the Speaker and said that by his action of filing as an independent, he no longer represented the MPP in Parliament, so the Speaker should declare his seat vacant. And the Speaker, Michael Kwe, did exactly that. He declared Honorable Isiama's seat vacant. They didn't know that one day will come when the precedent that they had set will come back to haunt them. So this time, after petitioning the Speaker in 2020, declaring Honorable Isiama's seat vacant, this time 3 of their own members of Parliament filed as independent. And so the NDC's case was simple. One of our members too filed as independent. So the NDC said, but this thing happened in 2020, the Speaker gave a ruling. So it has happened again. 4 members of Parliament have filed as independent. So Mr. Speaker, give your ruling. And so Mr. Speaker gave his ruling and said their seats should be declared vacant. And so by the declaration of their seats as being vacant, automatically the NDC becomes the majority in today's Parliament. And that's why I say, when you dig a pit for somebody, you yourself will come and fall in that same pit.
Now, Shadia, this is another twerp. This guy, every car you see him driving, Sam Okujato. This is one of the most corrupt old men in Ghana. Also, Nyankupon Kune Tochening. So you greedy chain, this guy. Now this man, he is greedy. Let's say, like this now, you know, Benz, every car this man is driving today, a Jubilee House at the man. Yeah. The Peace Council should intervene immediately in the ongoing brouhaha in Parliament. On say, every time we are NPP, Ekudu Konabina Omobra, no more release such a dog to come and defend corruption. And I'm study here. This is the guy they use. And you know the funny thing? These people are speaking against the Constitution today. When they were putting the Constitution together in 1992, these were the people who opposed the Constitution. Yeah. This guy, his own son raped his mate. And then the Banoko to Canada. This guy, he majored in Bible studies. This guy. That is his major in school. O level is A level. This guy. Akwawe, or moral education was school. Or we also a lawyer. Wait. I want one of the greedy I want to fall on this planet. This guy. His own son raped his house help. He covered it up. Go and ask his family. We are half fulani, half aunani. Wait. All that he does is he gets up in the morning, he defends corruption. That is his life. This guy. So for some time you've not heard about him. The General Legal Council, so all the corruption, he is the one protecting this government. Time I can say Eni Yeboah $5 million. Hangene komu. Eni Yeboah should just come and make a statement. This is the guy who sat at the General Legal Council to go after the lawyer who accused Eni Yeboah that his client told him Eni Yeboah took $5 million. This is the foolish man who sits on General Legal Council. What he majored in moral education. This guy, wait. And today, this is the guy we Ghanaians are supposed to listen to. Wait. General Legal Council, when Afenyo Markin, Emma, ne law firm, one of their lawyers, Deborah, echo intimidate young kids in school, or the national security tax be quiet. This was the guy who sat at General Legal Council to say Afenyo Markin should walk. There's no sense in these people. Messi Yempeni for the beer Jimmy, he majored in Bible studies. Wait, that is what he majored in. Go and read his resume. This guy majored in religious education. This guy. We sit in Ghana and such idiots. Besides, this is what they do. And every time your MPP walk on, these are the people they send out. They'll come and make you think that they are intelligent, they have read, they are smart, they don't know anything. RME, wait, that is what he majored in. I want to read his resume to you. I have his resume on my phone. I hope I find it. This guy, he knows nothing. He's a criminal. I'm trying to find his resume to read to you. Wait. These are the people who opposed the 1992 constitution. This thief. Now hear what he's saying. We need a peace council, and that we have to let them come and intervene. What is to intervene here? What is happening in Parliament? Why should anybody intervene? Parliament is not fighting anybody. These are issues in Parliament. It is only Parliament that can solve it. Parliament in demand solving the issue. Then who has the right to solve Parliament issue? They make their own laws. That is why the Parliament issue now, a copy of Supreme Court, I don't want to spend time on it. I don't want to spend time on it because, listen, Parliament is an independent body. They have the right to make their laws, and they have the right to argue over their laws, and they have the right to make sure they make that law they passed effective. Parliament is independent enough that it has been able to create its own constitution that guides it. And we don't need anybody to tell Parliament what it has to do. Parliament, it's its own boss. And at the end of the day, nobody committed a crime in Parliament for us to go to the Supreme Court. What crime was committed in Parliament? A day they see a Parliament into mean survey. So for somebody to leave Parliament and be part of Parliament, to leave Parliament to go seek help from outside Parliament, that person does not respect Parliament. That is what we need to understand. Let's say, for somebody who is part of Parliament, who is part of the laws they make in Parliament, who is part of the standing orders of Parliament, to leave Parliament to say that we as an independent body make laws, make sure the laws work, leave Parliament to go and seek knowledge outside, to think that knowledge will be able to control Parliament. That person does not even deserve to be in Parliament. It means the person does not even respect Parliament in the first place. Then it means that Parliament you are part of, you don't respect it to make decisions that will basically help you in Parliament. So it means you will underestimate Parliament, the power it has. Into this issue of Parliament as some akupie akopie Supreme Court is a big deal. Judges Nina were appointed by Akufo-Addo. In the first place, if I'm the Chief Justice, which I am not, I would tell the parliamentarians to say, what has happened in Parliament, is it a crime? Can it be solved in Parliament? Are you guys not independent enough? Do you have a speaker? if the speaker makes any pronouncement, do you have any way in Parliament to at least question the speaker's pronouncement? Because I know that when Alban Bagbin makes a statement in Parliament, it is not final. Parliamentarians can still use the rules and regulations in Parliament, the standing orders, to question the speaker. And there's been several occasions where speakers have passed a judgment on something and come back to say, this parliamentarian raised an objection and I think he made sense, and that the ruling has been quashed. I just want us to look at this again. That's it. So, a DNC of Parliament are so crazy, we need to get to the Supreme Court. Did anybody shoot anyone? Did anybody commit murder in Parliament? As far as to say, somebody can still rise up in Parliament to actually tell the speaker that, your speaker, Mr. Speaker, the decision you took, in fact, from what I am seeing, from what we also have here that binds at, I think you made a mistake. In fact, it can be an argument that at the end of the day, both sides can make for the speaker to either rescind his decision or keep his decision. So what is it about a parliamentarian going to Supreme Court? The moment you leave Parliament to go to Supreme Court, to go seek for interpretation of what Parliament has decided, then you, that parliamentarian, you don't respect the Parliament you are in. You don't. And that is what these NPP guys don't understand. And that is what Afenyomakin does not understand. And that is why I have so much pain in my heart that the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, in less than 5 hours can put together a committee and say, I am the chair of the committee, have what you want. There's a problem. That is where I have the problem. And yet the AC say obia to me. But for the Chief Justice, because I don't think, say, if there's an issue in the Supreme Court, if there's an issue in the Supreme Court, I don't think, and I know there are so many times, there's been disagreements between the judges in the Supreme Court on issues, but you never heard any Supreme Court judge say that I disagree with the Chief Justice on this decision, so I am going to Parliament to seek interpretation, or I am writing a petition to the President for the Chief Justice to be summoned. I've never heard anything. Supreme Court judges, the judges know that they have to, at the end of the day, no matter how difficult an issue is, they have to find a way to solve it. So why can't parliamentarians do that? Now, for one part of Parliament to always be running to the Supreme Court, it means the extension of the executive has gotten to the Supreme Court, because that person or that group, they know they cannot run to the Jubilee House. It will be too clear. So what they have to do is to seek help from the Supreme Court, which basically is an extension of the executive. So when you see NPP4 from Parliament running to the Supreme Court, they are going for help from Akufo-Addo, because every single person who matters in the Supreme Court was employed by Akufo-Addo. I feel bad when Chief Justice Madam Tokonu sits down and makes sure, say, this carnage happens. It means the Chief Justice in the first place is giving parliamentarians the room to disrespect the Speaker of Parliament. True. Because if the Chief Justice really respects the Speaker of Parliament, she will question Afenyomakin that the ex-party you've been brought shows that there's another part who don't agree with you on what you have brought here. And that go back. You are not the only people in Parliament. Sit with your leader and make sure the right thing is done. Because the Speaker's pronouncement is not the end of everything. Still, the NPP had room to argue their case. That is why you have standing orders. You have ways and means to get your case made and listened to. So for the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, to say, yes, Afenyomakin, you have come, thank you. When my father died, you actually handled the funeral, and that right now I have been a slave to you. I am a slave to you. So whatever you want, take it. It means the Supreme Court itself does not respect the Speaker of Parliament. Let me tell you, there's law, we all understand. And it's not Hanatete Ebusa, the Speaker of Parliament, the Supreme Court Chief Justice, say this simple question. That's why Hanatete was asking Madam Tokonu, say, do Supreme Court justices consider public opinion? And Nuntina Hanatete Ebusa Chief Justice say, the Supreme Court does it actually consider so how they feel about things. Because you being at the Supreme Court, everything is not supposed to be about you, and also everything is not supposed to be about the law. It is about the people your judgment is going to affect. And it's do sometimes case we Supreme Court etumika say sa case we, because of the sentiment out there, because the majority of the people don't like it, even though the law says we should do this, the sentiments of the people and the democracy we want to maintain and not to bring chaos, we are going to stick to the opinion and sentiments of the people. It is sometimes, the Supreme Court always judge things on the common sense. So we are judge, we are robot. You also need to look outside the feeling of the people, because a judgment can cause more harm. Sometimes some judgment that you think it is right, it turns out to destroy a nation. That is why the public sentiment, the public opinion is important as a judge. So you ask yourself, did the Chief Justice consider the public opinion on this matter? Because we are talking about representation in Parliament. Every single person in Parliament represents a Ghanaian or Ghanaians. Did the Chief Justice consider Ghanaians? No. She considered what Afenyomakin has done for her. Afenyomakin yede papa yie ma no. Oni Afenyomakin was very good rapport. Oni president ne di nkomo. In less than 4 hours, she needs to put together a committee to pass. What is this? Now, if Alban Bagbin tries to show respect to the Supreme Court and say, I respect the Supreme Court and I respect my position, so I'll stick to my decisions, what is the Supreme Court going to do? Let's say Alban Bagbin decides to show respect to the Supreme Court and say, I'm not going to do anything to destabilize our democracy, to destabilize the pillars of government. I'm going to respect the Supreme Court. I'm going to stick to my position and make sure I do my job. Whatever I'm doing here is what I'm concentrating on. I'm not going to think about anything. What is the Supreme Court going to do? Are they going to arrest Alban Bagbin? Is the Supreme Court going to give order that we should shut down the Parliament? No. But the President's Supreme Court has said, it is not good. The Chief Justice has been an embarrassment. And this is something that we need to talk about. The Chief Justice, Madam Tokonu, has been an embarrassment. She has been too political. She is becoming too political. I don't have a problem if Akufo-Addo appointed you, but the people, the public, how they see you, how they feel about things. Sometimes you people should not act like you live on Mars. At the end of the day, we are called the same church. And I don't want to remind any judge of the past, but the things that happened to Kobre Japan, any judges they it is not as worse as what we are seeing today. The Amaya Meda judges in 1982 or so. It is not as crazy as this. This is broad day slaughtering of the democracy of this nation, and this is dangerous. If it is not a military man, if it is not an innocent policeman, it will be the civilians who rise up to attack the Supreme Court, and this is dangerous. That is why Hannah Tete was busy or asking the Chief Justice, do you think about the people, how they feel now, where we are now? You don't. It means you are not working for the people. It means you people in the Supreme Court, you are working for some people. They are what? Political greediness or their selfishness. That's what you're doing. Because if I'm the Chief Justice, I will tell Afenyomakin that, you know something, we have less than 60 days to elections. I'm the Chief Justice here. I'm also Ghanaian. I know the tension in the system. Whatever has erupted in Parliament can be solved by Parliament. Go there, talk to your speaker, meet the opposing side, and solve that problem. At this point, we don't need that chaos. You kill this matter. But for some reason, Chief Justice in less than 5 hours is able to put 5 judges together, including herself. Let's make a judgment. And what do you get from it? Let's say Alban Bagbin says, I'm Speaker of Parliament. I want to test the law. I will still hold on to the position. My statement states, what are you going to do? Are you going to give another order that we should shut down Parliament? No. No. You don't do that. You don't disrespect the people like that. Madam Tokoro, this is embarrassing. This is the lowest point of our judiciary. I thought you were going to do better than Enini Yabua. Enini Yabua was trash. You were coming in as a woman We thought that you had something special. You had sympathy, empathy. You were going to live above the men. But you have become so bad, so political, so dirty in court. You have basically made the ordinary Ghanaian who had no knowledge about judiciary even question your level of intelligence as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. And this is all because you have involved yourself too much in this petty party politics. At time, I don't care about the decision Alban Bagbin will take. I don't care. What I care about is December 7, Ghana Fund 2 for John Mahama and the NDC MPs, for NDC to take full ownership of this area government and take responsibility and take decisions. We cannot rely on the Supreme Court. From what we have seen, the Supreme Court is not there to help any Ghanaian. The executive led by Akufo-Addo is dangerous. So we are, as Ghanaians, we need to make decisions. And it's gonna make catch Ghana from the beginning. Okay. Ghana, your problem nina Parliament. Your problem nina, it is the NPP in Parliament. Hey, from January 7, 2017, be seen there. Everything Akufo-Addo planning in or use Parliament or the NPP. And let me tell you something. The NPP hang Parliament near Ohono. NPP lost the elections because they got Antinomunya hang Parliament. No, it is not because they won hang Parliament. Parliament now 136 was the end of Hosano. It is because the NPP lost. And it was our Parliament. No, so from day one, the NDC has always been the majority. You people all know. It is because they lost. Antina your hang Parliament. No, and if Sankaye di Nukura Anka was NDC and a majority in Parliament. Some names are. Yes. But you see, what we need to understand and say, Afenyoma kene MPP for the omu yeni nyinano, it is because the executive need to me yet. It is because Akufo-Addo ain't to me yet. They are using Afenyo and the NPP, our more Parliament, to do the executive dirty work. Into every bad thing we are saying in Ghana today, executive Akufo-Addo the intentions no, but when I want to implement here because cookie idea no Jubilee House. Akufo-Addo want to be Parliament and pass him ra. Akufo-Addo want to be 19 Parliament and because he will have to use parliamentarians. And internet is very critical. So what to aba I'm our presidential candidate. I also to aba man or now to aba man MP because Ukoto Obama a mad presidential candidate say Akufo-Addo, this is what you get. Every NPP MP is mad because they are licking the butt of Akufo-Addo. Everything they do there is because instructions from Jubilee House. It is a president in Jimia. You have a parliament that is full of MPP MPs somewhere Jimmy. So sometimes you ask yourself, now NPP for the e-levy buy no cookie free Jubilee House the cookie and yet one of the buy over atamu bawumia. Betting tax, one of the buyer, Jubilee House, Ofuriata, Finance Ministry. Every single thing that MP sign a Parliament in if you Jubilee House. And he said, one for to me, I'm a John Mahama, and some for MP Nanka. No man take a right decision. You have no peace. Or problem a woman than a bear bigger. It is all to about. So ask get them blouse in the conversation way bow. I'm telling you. The constitution needs to be changed. I understand. But we have not exhausted the constitution. Are you now going to say we should go and amend the parliament? Parliament is parliament. Because because the constitution is not being fair and the parliament too has too much power. Oh, Supreme Court too has too much power. Executive has too much power. Today I want to ask you, the executive and the Supreme Court, why no power than either other one? Into more I'm calling for an amendment of the constitution. Should we go and amend the Supreme Court? Because you are calling for the amendment of the powers of the president. Should we amend the powers of the Chief Justice? And after that, should we go and amend the powers of the Speaker of Parliament? No. It is because we have a government and a president. They are stupid. They are mad. They don't understand and respect the constitution, the laws governing this nation. That is what we need to deal with. Because from 1992, we have we have had presidents. So why today are we blaming the constitution too much? It is because these fools are taking advantage of the constitution, and these are people we don't need to let them come close to power. Until you vote them out, you take them out of power, and you get people who will respect you, respect the constitution, and then we build. Until as you sit here now, say Oto Abama John Mahama now to Abama NDC MPP it is worse. And into the Yehun in Deno. Now just saying NDC our full authority or majority in parliament as Uncle Azun. No. Afewo. Me say Sanka NDC our presidency and more full majority in parliament as Uncle Azun Supreme Court. No. It is when you give power to Obia undeserved power. No. 99% of NPP MPs or parliament, they are not working for you. They are working for Kufuado. E-levy, then taxes on the it is from Jubilee House. Into President Jimia, you will have members of parliament who are foolish. Yes. And it is imperative. Say Abana Yekotuno, we look at voting for John Mahama and voting for the NDC MP. That is the only way we can save this nation. That is the only way. Say why sa obwa. Yabeche we atum, yabese Ghana, yabe Ghana ye obwa, nothing will work. It's a clear example. The Uno Parliament, a clear example. The Uno Parliament. Now, when you even read, see this document. Let me read this document and show you. When you read the standing orders of Parliament, a member shall be excused from service on the House or on any committee so long as he has leave of absence. Now 17, it says, a member who desires to resign his seat in the House shall notify Mr. Speaker in writing under his hand of his intentions to resign his seat, and Mr. Speaker shall inform the House as soon as practicable. Now Uko 18, this is standing orders in Parliament. Obinkancham Alban Bagbin went against this rule. This is the standing orders of Parliament. 18. The seat of a member shall be declared vacant by Mr. Speaker under clause 1B to H of Article 97 of the Constitution. It is only Speaker of Parliament who can declare a seat vacant. What else again? Why are we here today? We need to concentrate on serious things. Because you have to say, Jimmy to say marking, walking around them fooling, and the Supreme Court entertaining this animal. The Supreme Court was supposed to read this to Afinyo marking and say, as far as this is in your standing orders, go back. Talk to the Speaker. Maybe there's another way, but this stands. The Speaker has the right. The statement says shall. It is a command. He shall be declared vacant. The Speaker has the right to declare the seat vacant. That is when he gets the information that the person has put a notice, his intentions of vacating his seat. It's clear. This is clear English. So why are we here? Why are we spending so much time on the MPP? Afinyo marking kwasiawe. Jimmy where and kwafo yin no gu omo so kwasiawe Jimmy. Afinyo marking Jimmy for where a pedophile protector kwasiawe and distracting the whole country, all because he feels to say he's entitled to be a majority leader. This is in the standing orders. I don't care whatever phrase or whatever, it is clear language. 18, the seat was 33. 17, a member who desires to resign, and all these 4 members, they made that decision. Nobody pulled a gun at their head to go independent. Says a member who desires to resign his seat in the House shall notify. Haven't they notified the Speaker? Yes. Did they go through that election? Yes. Haven't they notified the Speaker that they are going independent? Yes. Why do we make grammar so complicated? Why do we allow kwasiaphobia to distract the whole nation? Now it says a member who desires to resign his seat in the House shall notify Mr. Speaker in writing. Have they notified the Speaker in writing? Yes. Now he goes ahead to say, under his hand of his intention to resign his seat, and Mr. Speaker shall inform the House as soon as practicable. Didn't the Speaker inform the House that these people have actually written to me? The documents are there that they have vacated their seat, they have resigned. Yes. Now the Speaker has the power, 18, to declare the seat vacant. What is the big deal here? Adena ye Jimmy. Adena yaman kwase for we waste your energy. Entina makacha say problem ekosu nyina no. It is because NPP MPs no go parliament no, they are not there because of you. In January Ghana ni that's why Jatu said John Mahama is a better person to lead this nation. My John Mahama no MP ni ko parliament. And yes sir, you see the same thing. Seka NPP for 30 seats of parliament and the same way 4 years will be that. John Mahama will have clean conscience to lead this Ghana in 4 years. Things will change. He will walk clean. That's how it's supposed to be. Edien brofo na wonti ase wa ha. Edien na wonti ase I was say betina ha na edidi speaker atem na edidi chief justice atem. No, we are not supposed to do that. This is clear cut. Bro, ni bi no argue with this thing. No white man will spend a day. No Supreme Court, America Supreme Court will not sit on this case. Never. They will not spend less than 1 day to say I've made a determination. Something from House of Congress. When was the last time I would say Congress atom as some say at their court, Supreme Court? Never. When was the last time you heard that the Senate they have taken a case like petty basic case like this to a Supreme Court? Never. The Supreme Court will block this nonsense. Take it back. Why is our Supreme Court so interested in this shitty stuff? Your anti-LGBTQ case, the whole month, almost a year. The Chief Justice does not see the importance. And this woman every Sunday would them praising Yankopon. We be mitrumu and I want work say go and seal the hole in God's ass. You cannot do it. You are sitting here. You have constituted a 4 or 5 member committee. You are chairing. You are happy. They here no one yet. We be on Yankopon true mutwo. Katanya metua wotwo ere de wontumi nye afenyo marking your papa yenti the whole Ghana and Dane. Madam Tokonu, I am disappointed. Let's give women the opportunity. Give the women the opportunity. You have blocked the chance of millions of women in this country. The confidence a lot of men had in women to lead, to change the narrative. You are blocking it. The next time you better say Oba Peso Chief Justice, do you know what people are going to say? Because hey, another one, another Tokonu. Let's talk about the people of Sal. These people were denied. They were denied their right to vote, to elect a leader. You did not have any problem with it. Look at that case. No agency. You have used less than 5 minutes to constitute a panel to do what? There's no case here.